Dear students, in this session I will discuss on software. As you know, computer is a combination of hardware and software. So, software means a collection of programs, computer programs, and a program is a set of logical instructions that is required to accomplish a particular task. Or in other words, we may define it as the parts of a computer system that can neither be touched nor seen, but its execution can be perceived is called software. So, as in the first definition, it is a collection of computer programs, and the programs are a set of logical instructions. So, instructions may be given using any of the computer languages like BASIC, COBOL, C, C++, .NET, etc. Software are classified into two categories. One is system software, whereas another is application software. System software is a collection of programs designed to operate, control and extend the processing capabilities of computer itself. Operating system, compiler, interpreter comes under the purview of system software, whereas application software is a collection of application programs, and an application program is one that has been developed to solve a specific data processing task. The prominent example is MS Office, and lakhs of application programs available for use. Now, see what is operating system, compiler or interpreter. Operating system is a software which coordinates user with hardware and also controls the activities performed by different segments of the computer system. The example of operating system is disk operating system, which is in short called DOS, Windows, Unix, Linux, Android, etc. The compiler is a special type computer program which translates program written in high level language to machine level language and previous and executable program later. The interpreter is also a special type of computer program which translates program written in high level language to machine level language line by line or statement by statement and executes each statement simultaneously. So, let us say look on compiler and interpreter, how it is similar and how it is different. So, compiler translates the entire program, whereas interpreter translates the program line by line or a statement by statement. Compiler requires more main memory, whereas interpreter requires less main memory. Compiler converts the entire program into machine code when all the syntax error has removed and executes the object code directly, whereas interpreter executes program each time. Every line or statement is checked for syntax error and then translated to machine code. The compiler requires neither source code nor the compiler itself for the execution, executes direct object code, whereas interpreter requires itself with source program for execution each time. Compilers are slow for debugging and testing, whereas interpreters are good and fast debugging and testing. Compiler takes less execution time, whereas interpreter takes more execution time. So, guys, you have understood that how these are same and how these are different with each other. Now, as we know that computer is a combination of hardware and software. So, let us look on the screen how these are related with each other. The hardware which is in the core part and the user ourselves are away from the hardware, and in between ourselves and hardware there are two layers. One layer which is nearer to hardware, that is of operating system, and the another layer which is closer to ourselves, which have two options, either by use of application software or by use of compiler interpreter. So, if these two layers are removed, the hardware is defunct. Thus, it is apparent that relation between hardware and software is interactive. So, without software, the hardwares are useless, and without hardware there is no use of software. So, अगर आपके कंप्यूटर में सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है तो वो जस्ट एक टीन का डब्बा है। आप समझ रहे हैं कि सॉफ्टवेयर कितना यूजफुल है, और उसी तरह से अगर वह कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर ही नहीं है तो आप सॉफ्टवेयर कहाँ एक्सिक्यूट कराइएगा। सो दिस इज द वे बाय विच see the relation between hardware and software. Now, the programming languages, nowadays we are using high level programming languages, but it starts from the machine language. In first generation, the machine language, which was 100% machine oriented, in it instructions were written in the form of binary number consisting ones and zeros, which computer responds directly. Due to binary digits, the processing speed was highest, translation of program was not required, and they occupies less memory, but those were difficult to read and write, and also those were machine dependent, or even the complex logic instructions were not being constructed. So, these are the disadvantages of the first generation programming language, I mean machine language. The second generation programming language, that was known as assembly language. In assembly language, mnemonics were used to write instructions. Mnemonics consist of code using general English words and symbols for focusing and data names. Therefore, the assembly language was also known as symbolic programming language. Each machine had got its own assembly language, which was dependent upon the internal infrastructure, I mean architecture of the processor. Every assembly language had its own translator that were known as assembler. So, assembly language program requires an program known as assembler, which translates the source code into object code, and then machine responds them. Its speed was higher, but it was also difficult to read, write, understand, and could not be construct complex logic instructions, and this was also machine dependent. Programming methodology were vary from machine to machine. So, next came the high level language, that is third generation language. High level languages are human oriented languages. In its instructions are given using almost English words. High level languages require translator. Just we have discussed about the compiler and interpreter. These are called translators. High level languages are machine independent and self documenting. These are not dependent upon the machine. These are independent from hardware architecture, but it also one additional program known as translator. So, for as a translator we use either interpreter or compiler. So, source program first taken by translator, then the compiler or interpreter, I mean translator, converts source code into object code for execution. The program written in the high level language are easy to read, write and understand, easy to remember, address sequences of instructions, also easy to construct complex logic instructions. It is common for all machines. There are no machine dependency. So, these are machine independent, but its speed is lower than the earlier generation languages, and it also occupies more memory. The example of translator, I mean compiler or interpreter, are BASIC, COBOL, Fortran, C, C++, Python, etc. The next generation, that is fourth generation language, a new class of language developed from 1970s through 1990s, overlapping most of the development of three generation languages. While third generation languages like C, C++, C#, Java and JavaScript remains popular for a wide variety of usage, fourth generation language as originally defined found narrower usage. Some advanced third generation languages like Python, Ruby and Perl combine some fourth generation language abilities within a generalized purpose third generation environment. Example of fourth generation is most prominent example Informix. It includes embedded structure query language, I mean SQL, and a limited set of imperative capabilities. The language is particularly close to a natural language and is easy to learn and use. Now, we have also using fifth generation language. The fifth generation languages are designed to make the computer to solve a given problem without the programmer. This way, the user only needs to worry about what problems need to be solved and what conditions need to be met, without worrying about how to implement a routine or algorithm to solve them. Fifth generation languages are used mainly in artificial intelligence research, and the example may be considered as Prolog, OPS5, etc. Some requisites are required to know, or even some steps are to be done before writing a source code of a computer program, and these are algorithm, flow chart, pseudocode and then computer programs. So, an algorithm is a well defined computational procedure that takes a value or a set of values as input and produces output. A good algorithm should have the capacity to get input, but must have some output. Algorithm must be finite and definite and should be effective. That means, it must have some basic steps for printing the result, getting the input, etc. And the algorithm must be complete in general. It should not be open ended. The general steps of an algorithm should be complete for a class of problems, not for a specific problems. So, we use algorithm. The another step which requires prior of coding, that is flowchart. A flowchart is simply a graphical method of indicating a proposed or actual solution of problem. A correctly drawn flowchart allows the actual computer programming to be accomplished with much greater ease. Ease मतलब सुविधा से. अगर हम flowchart अच्छा बना लेते हैं तो हमारा कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग बहुत ही सहूलियत वाला सुविधाजनक हो जाता है. That's why we say the flowchart helps with the organization of ideas and allows quick recording of ideas on paper in an easy way to follow arrangements. And there is a well known fact that once an accurate flowchart is drawn, to write the code of a problem has been more than half completed. So आप महसूस कर रहे होंगे कि अगर अच्छा से आपका फ्लो चार्ट लिखा गया, एल्गोरिथम बन गया, तो आपको कंप्यूटर का सोर्स कोड लिखना का आधा से ज्यादा काम हो गया. To draw flow chart, we use some basic shapes. On the screen, please observe. Same shapes are used for start and stop, and same shapes but different from start and stop are used for input and output, whereas a specified shape is used for decision or for branching. And the connector, whenever our flow chart becomes more than a single page, we use connector to show connectivity on other page or other sheet or other location. So these are few, I am saying few shapes which are used in the flowchart drawing. After flowchart has drawn, we may write program, but one more step is done, that is development of pseudocode. Pseudocode is an informal high level description of the operating principle of a computer program or the algorithm. It uses the structural conventions of a programming language, but is intended for human reading rather than machine reading. Computer programs are read by machines, whereas pseudocodes are for ourselves. We may test how our code will be understood by the hardware. So that very purpose we use the development of pseudocode. So after doing all these steps, we move for writing program, I mean code generation. So program may be defined as a procedure expressed in a programming language is known as a computer program. So these are the requisites for prior to development computer program. So some features has been identified that those should be in a programming language. So for features for a good programming language should have data description. Language must allow to describe the problem's data in a useful manner. Language should be able to specify the declared variables permissible range of values to take full advantages of any runtime range checks which are available. The next feature should be data manipulation. The language should enable the programmer to state the data items to be processed in a meaningful manner and non-ambiguous manner, like structured data manipulation, array, structure, union. These data should be manipulated conveniently. The next feature, that is data communication. A programming language should include facilities for the input and output of data items. The language should support the transfer of entire record structure to and from files with only a minimum amount of formatting information supplied by the programmer. The programming language should have sequence control too. I mean कि sequence control की भी सुविधा होनी चाहिए. Language should have provisions to incorporate suitable sequence control elements such as repetition and selection. Ideally, the language features involved should reflect the natural expressions of if, then, else, repeat until, like. The language should have dynamic storage allocation. I mean, the capacity of a program to allocate a storage of arrays and tables during execution, during runtime. And the language should have the facility of linked list or a storage chain. This ability to represent lists directly within the language is of course essential for list processing. This facility enhances the utility of programming languages. And last but not least, that the language should have multiple choice selection. Any extremely useful control feature available in various forms of different languages is the multiple choice selection. So, these features should have a programming language, then we may say that the programming language is good. So, this is all about software. Thanks